Have you ever started a game project feeling super motivated and ready to get to work, only to lose all of your steam just a few weeks later? It's really common for game devs to lose steam and then quit their game dev project, but that's why I'm here. Game development is hard, and burnout is one of the biggest reasons for game developers to quit their projects. So today I am here to give you some tangible structures to add to your game dev workflow that will statistically improve your chances of completing your game. Guys, game development is hard, and it's okay for you to quit a game, so I don't want you to feel bad at all if you quit a game. I mean, go back a few videos and even I've quit one of my games. It's okay. Many people quit for many reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is burnout and lack of motivation. So I'm going to be discussing all sorts of ways for you to deal with burnout, lack of motivation, and all sorts of other problems you can run into. So let's talk about setting goals. It's really common for all of us to have some sort of Trello board or something like that with all of our goals on it. And when we're early in our game development plan of what we want to add to the game, it's really easy for us to write vague things down like make the combat fun or add cool movement to the game. It's really easy to go vague with these, but actually that's the opposite of what you want to do. So instead of setting these really big goals that are vague and don't really tell you what you want to complete, it's better for you to be more precise and actually write down just the small things that you want to complete, because that will help you build momentum and feel better accomplished about just making small little steps in your game. Personally, I like to call this method moving the needle, and it's something I might reference back to a lot throughout this channel, but moving the needle is just taking one step every day and getting closer to the finish line. Even if it's not a big step, it's good just to take a step. Now, related to setting goals, and this one will definitely apply for some of our newer developers out there. Let's set time boxes for features. Well, what exactly is a time box? Time box is something I like to call it. It's basically giving yourself a set amount of time to work on a feature so you're not getting stuck on it. I like to give myself a few days, and if I just can't figure it out, or instead of getting stuck on it, I either choose to move on if it's important to the game, or I just choose to scrap it completely. And honestly, this helps me out and it helps with my scope creep, so I'm not adding too many things to the game, and it helps me take some things out. On top of like taking things out of your game, it will also help your schedule. Because when I'm 3 days into a feature and I just can't figure it out, instead of spending the next week working on it, just trying to get it to work, it might end up being bad and I take it out anyway. I'm just taking it out and I'm moving on and I'm continuing with my schedule. But let's talk about some motivators. So I really enjoy using playable builds to help me feel motivated about my project. And honestly, I think that you should too. It feels amazing to have your game in a buildable form. So even if it doesn't look good, I like to just kind of put in the features and make demos as much as possible. If my game is playable, I'm able to send it out to people and start testing early. And when you're getting builds done early, you'll be getting feedback early, and that will help you build your game as you go throughout your production. But honestly, besides all of that, just seeing your game come to life and being able to play it is one of my most rewarding feelings in game development. This one is one of my favorites. Done is better than perfect. I understand the pressure of when you're building a game and you put so much work into it that you just want it to be perfect. Sometimes you just need to let it be done, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Allow yourself to move on from that and just continue on the schedule. If you're going to sit there and make everything in your game perfect, you're going to need a lot more time than you think you do. And this is especially if you're in the beginning stage. My personal theory is it's better to just kind of throw everything into your game, get it working, and you can always polish it later. Your game doesn't have to be flawless. In the end, it is a piece of work, and especially if you're a solo developer like me, it's being made by one person. Let's move on to some burnout reasons. So this is actually one of my favorite topics that I wanted to talk about in this video, and it's having a quit prevention plan. Burnout doesn't happen overnight. It is a buildup over time. So that's why I think it's good to have a plan in mind of when you are starting to feel burnt out. Luckily for us, we are game devs, so we're able to just throw on different hats all the time, whether we go from marketing to coding to art. It is a great idea to just kind of switch up what you're working on, especially if you're not feeling too inspired to get into it. Just go work on something else on your game if you still feel like working on your game. And if that's not working for you, you need to schedule some breaks. Overworking yourself isn't going to help your game. It's good for you to get your rest, take some breaks, and play some games, even if you feel like you need to work on your game. And lastly, one of my favorite things to do is to just plainly get inspired. And I know it's a very vague thing to say, but everyone gets inspired in their own different ways. Just seeing a bunch of new things and having new experiences really makes me feel motivated to get back and working on my game. I always like bringing real world things into my game, so going outside really helps me out a lot. One of the other things that you can do when you're in development of your first game that you plan on releasing commercially, or if you're just a hobbyist, is getting feedback on your game. I mean, we're all making games for other people to play it, so we might as well go get some feedback and see what people are thinking about our game now. Getting fresh eyes on your project is always a big motivator, because one, you want your project to be good, and two, they might be able to see something that you're not able to see. In fact, this is something I personally struggle with. I've been working on my game Driftwood Diner, and I haven't been able to get too many eyes on it, but I do plan on releasing a lot of more content about it, hopefully get some more eyes on it and get some more suggestions. And my last tangible thing for you is remember why you guys started. Remember why we started making games. Your 7-year-old self sitting in your chair playing Ocarina of Time on the GameCube, saying to yourself, when I grow up, I want to be a game developer. Just remember why you started. We're all here because we love games, and we love making them, and we love playing them. So if you're feeling frustrated about it all, take a step back, take a breath, and remember why we started game dev. Guys, game dev is tough, it's rough, and it beats us up all the time. Motivation is going to come and it's going to go, and the same with burnout. And it's okay for you to take steps back, take breaks. Don't ever get down on yourself for taking a break. We're all just moving forward. So if you set clear goals, track your progress, and give yourself some room to breathe, I guarantee you'll have a better chance at developing your first game. If this video helped, let me know below in the comments. I appreciate all the love on the last video. And if you guys are looking for some free resources, you guys can join the Discord. We are currently working on a Discord free resources page where you can get all sorts of game dev tips over there. So I hope to see you guys in the Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.